Hello everybody, my name is the Taskmaster and welcome to my Python programming video. So today we are going to do another basic concept of Python programming, which is different kinds of operators. So operators are the symbols that we use to perform various functions in Python. For example, when you have to give a value to something, or you need to compare two values, or you need to perform mathematical operations. So there are basically four different types of operators in Python. First is the arithmetic operators that we use to perform mathematics, which is uh, plus, minus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, floor division, and exponents. Then there are the assignment operators, that is the equal to, plus, equal to, minus equal to, multiplication, equal to, and all so forth and so forth. And then we have the comparison operators, that is equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to, less than, greater than, and not equal to. And last we have the logical operators and or, which I had used in the last class when we were doing conditional statements. So now we are first going to start with the arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are the ones that we use for maths, as I said before, and we are familiar with the first four, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We use these symbols also in our everyday lives, but the later three, modulus, floor division, and exponents, is a little new if you're never done coding. So we are first going to give two variables where we are going to input two numbers and perform all the arithmetic operations that are available in Python. So we are going to ask it to enter two numbers, and now we are going to print all the things. So I'll skip to that part. Okay, so here I have given all the arithmetic operators that are available in Python, and now I'm going to run this, and I'll go uh, close some consoles. Okay, so now I'm going to run this. It's asking me to enter the first number. Okay, so this is an error here that we're going to solve. So as I said last time, by default the input is taken as a string. So to convert it, to take the input as an integer, we have to explicitly convert it from string to integer data type. Now when I enter 12 and 4, you see that it will give us all the answers. So we are familiar with the first four, that is addition 12 plus 4 16, subtraction 8, multiplication 48, division 3. Now these last three, that is modulus, floor division, and exponentiation, I'll explain that now. So here what happens is, in modulus it till multiplication it returns the answer in the data type in which the operation was done. Now, mathematic operations can be applied on integer and float data type. So, if the two data types are float, then the answer will also be in float. And if it is an integer, it will be an integer. Here I enter two integers, that is 12 and 4. So, it also gave me the answers up till multiplication in integer. And now in division, is always float. Even if you give an integer, even if it is a perfect division, for example here 12 divided by 4 is 3, it will still put the point 0 because it has division gives the output in decimals. And now the next one, modulus. So modulus returns the remainder of the division. For example, here I have written 12 and 4. So there was no remainder here, so it gave 0. But if, for example, instead of 12 it was 13, when we divide 13 by 4, we are left with the remainder 1. So whatever is the remainder at the end of the division, it will give that in modulus. Now, in normal division, it will keep dividing, it will go in decimals. But then now we have floor division, where when it reaches a point where if it divides, it will go in the decimal place. It stops there. So this always gives the answer in integer. No matter which two numbers we divide, the answer will be an integer because as soon as the quotient, that is the answer after division, starts with the decimals, it will stop. So here, as you can see, the division's output is 3.0. However, in floor division, it is 3. And then exponentiation is when you have to write a number to the power of something else. So the syntax of this is that the base, here a is the base, and on the left side, that is what you write first, two asterisks that show that you're doing exponents, and then the power to which it is to be raised. So when I'm saying this and I have given the input 12 and 4, this means 12 raised to the power 4, and the answer of that is 20,736. This also, because you've given an integer as the base, it will give an integer. Now, if we can also check with the decimals, if I give like 3.8, if I can, instead of this int, I can make it a float. So if I make it a float now and I run this again, now we're going to try it with float data type instead of integer data type. So I can put here 3.8 and another number 7. So when we enter this, see the addition, since one of them was a float, the answer was in float, so is subtraction. Multiplication is like this for some reason. The division, as you can see, it kept dividing up till a point. The modulus was 3.8. Now the modulus was 3.8 because 3.8 is already lesser than 7. So 3.8 divided by 7, it will not undergo any division. 3.8 itself is the remainder. For floor division, it's 0, 0.0. Now it gave 0, 0.0 because uh, we've given the input in float. And now the exponentiation, this was 3.8 to the power of 7. Now you've noticed that in multiplication, division and exponentiation, the answer has a lot of decimals, more than you might expect. Now this is because Python, because when decimals are converted to a binary, that is zeros and ones, to actually be computed, they don't work well. Well, when you do normal integers, whole numbers, 0 to negative infinity and 1 to positive infinity, these now whole numbers without any decimal, it works perfectly fine. But when you start working with decimals, even if you are expecting just two or three decimal places, it will give you a lot of decimal places because when it goes into binary, it calculates it in such a way. So that is an exception in Python. I'm not sure about other languages, other programming languages, but in Python programming language, when you are working with decimals, you have to be careful with this. You might have to try to round it off. So This is the thing, because here it's saying a very long decimal, 5999998, and the division is quite long. An exponentiation, it shouldn't be this long because the base only has one decimal. The when raised to the power 7, the number shouldn't have so many decimals. I think that is common sense, that it shouldn't have so many decimals. But due to the way it is interpreted into the binary and then reconverted into integer or decimal to be represent outputted, it kind of messes up. But you get a near correct answer. So you can put your faith into Python, but not much with decimals. So now we are going to go to the next kind of operators, the assignment operators. So assignment operators is when you have to give a value to a variable, right? When you have to give any value, be it string, be it float, integer, boolean, anything. So first we have the input sign, the equal to sign, which is very basic, and I've given assigned the value 10 to the variable c. Now there are various other assignment operators other than just equal to. So these are kind of shortcut things, because this is like a combination of the arithmetic and the assignment operator. Because here, if I write c plus equals to say 5, right? This means that c, I'll put this in a comment. So c plus equals to 5. This means is same as this. C equals to c plus 5 when you have to add any number to a variable it to itself, then you can use this. Instead of writing c equals to c plus 5, you can directly write c plus equals to 5. That is more convenient, and so is with other. For example, I can give for example d. Now d minus equals to 5 or 7. So what this will do is that be d equals to d minus 7. So it will be d equals to 39 minus 7. The new value of d will be 39 minus 7. So now if I print these two, I comment the arithmetic operators for now, and I run this. So you can see that first I assigned the value of 10 to c, then I did c plus equals to 5. So I added 5 to the current value of 10 of c, and assigned it a new value. So that equals to 15. And then I did d equals to 39, and then d minus equal to 7. Means it did 39 minus 7, and then it gave a new value to the variable d, which was 32. And it works the same way with all other operators. This into equal to, multiple equal to, division equal to, modulus equal to, floor division equal to, and even exponent equal to. It all works the same, and this is way, in a way it reduces, maybe just for it decreases the time by a few seconds, but when required, this really comes in handy. It some convenience in the Python programming language. So this was the assignment operator, very basic, almost the same as the arithmetic operators. And now we come to the comparison operators. When you have to compare two uh, values, normally you compare numbers and float, but you can also you compare strings. So when you have to compare, it always returns a boolean value, either true or false. So as I said, there are these many types of comparison operators, that is equal to, which only says true if both the values are equal to each other. Then there is less than equal to, means if the value is less than or equal to the other value, then it returns true. If it's greater than, it will return false. Then there is greater than equal to. So if it is greater than or equal to the number, it will return true, or if it is lesser than, it will return false. Then we have the lesser than and greater than operator, and then we have the not equal to operator. So what this does is that if it is not equal to the other thing, then it returns true. If it is equal to the other value, it returns false. So now I'm going to demonstrate all of these. Okay, so now I've written all the comparison operators. So 15 and 32, this is the first part. So now we're going to follow this one by one. So for the first one, returned false because C is not equal to D. There are two different values. C is 15, D is 32. Second one was C is lesser than D. This is true because 15 is lesser than 32, so it returned true in the second one. C greater than D is false. Now here, C lesser than or equal to 15. Now since C is equal to 15, it returned true. So if, for example, C was the value on the other side was 14 or maybe 5, even then it would have returned true because the value is lesser than. So even if it is lesser than or equal to, for both cases it returns true. And then for D, for next one also true because D is equal to 32. That's true. And then the last one, not equals to. C is not equal to D, this is true. The fact that C is not equal to D, that is true. That is why it returned true. So if C equal to D is returning false to something, C not equal to D will return true. So this is completely opposite to this. If this returns true, this will return false. If this returns false, this will return true. That's the thing. So now we are going to go to the last kind of operators, which we have already seen, but I'm going to show you again because this I'm showing the operators, all the operators in this part. So now here I'm going to give an if statement. First I'm going to give a value to a variable is, so now if, now here I'm going to use as many operators as I can. So now if 4 is equal to, no, 4 modulus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so here now I've given a condition that s modulus, if s modulus 4 equals to 0 and s modulus 64 equals to 0, only then it will print hello. When we run this, it will print nothing. This is because even though this statement is true, this statement is false because s is equal to 32. 32 divided by 64 will give the remainder as 32, not as 0. So and this is and. So instead, if I had written here or, instead of and, if I write here or, it will return true because when we write or, both the statements do not have to be true. Even if one of the statements is returns true, it will execute the if block. So here the first statement, that is s modulus 4 equals to 0. This was true because 32 is divisible by 4. So it was 0. This statement was true. Even though the other one is false, it doesn't matter in or. This can be applied for as many statements that you put in one if condition. For as many conditions you want, you can put or and as you like, and it'll work the same way as it does for two. If you'll put or, even if one of those n number of conditions return true, even if one of them, then it'll execute. But if you put and, it all those conditions have to be true for the if block to run. And these were all the operators that are available in Python. So again, arithmetic, assignment, comparison, and logical operators. These are very easy to understand and come in great use while programming. All of them have their own purpose in a program, and if used correctly, you can make a relatively long code shorter. So this was my explanation of operators in Python. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe for more. And if you learned anything, it'll be really great. And if you have any doubts, you can send it to me by email. My email ID is in the description box below. So stay creative, keep programming. This is the Taskmaster signing off. Goodbye.